most merciful and most gracious. I'd like to welcome you all. Right, thank you. I'd like to welcome you all to today's debate on is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Bible, co-hosted by the Muslim Debate Initiative, one of our first public debates since COVID hit. So that's why we kind of wanted it not to be live streamed on this first event. We wanted to encourage all you guys to come here in person, good old-fashioned way. And but don't worry, for anyone who's further afield, the footage will be up online on YouTube, and we'll give some details at the end of the event where to find that, which channel to find it in. Okay, so my name is Abdullah Al-Andalusi. I'm a member of the Muslim Debate Initiative, and I'm pleased to welcome you. So today's proceedings will be a moderate debate, which is different from like two people sitting on a chair having a podcast, which we're used to now, but rather it is structured time where both interlocutors can present their cases and they can present rebuttals. For this, reason why I think public debates are important, moderate debates are important, I think for a number of reasons. One of them, I think, today there is a problem with echo chambers and people only wanting to speak to people who agree with themselves and never engage with people who disagree with them. In this age of everyone has their own truth, no one wants to be bothered to share the actual truth or to discuss what the actual objective truth is, because many people have negated the possibility of even objective truth, unfortunately. So, in light of this, we feel that public moderate debates, which Muslim Debate Initiative has been organizing for, I think now, 14 years or so, has been something that we've been trying to lead on, because we believe that for truth and falsehood to be known, they must clash, and in order to clash, they must clash in the most fairest way possible, for that's when truth can shine. Of course, if falsehood held the stage, that would be one thing. If truth held the stage, that would be another, but no one would be able to tell the truth between them unless you contrast them, right? The straight line next to the crooked line brings out the crooked line all the more. Okay. Also, I would like to illustrate that in the light of Islamic tradition, which is what the Muslim Debate Initiative was based upon, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had one of the first Muslim-Christian debates with a delegation of Christians from the Christian town of Najran in the southern Arabian Peninsula. It was a debate that lasted for 3 days and 2 nights. Yes, they did sleep in between and they did eat. But at the end of that discussion, many of the Christian delegation still rejected the Prophet Muhammad as a prophet. And of course, if someone's claiming to be a prophet and you're rejecting them to their face, you're in essence saying to them that they're either mad or they're lying, and you're saying it right to their face. And how did the Prophet Muhammad react to this? He gave them full hospitality. He even let them do their Christian prayers, or allowed them to do their Christian prayers in the mosque. And then they went back to their town enjoying full Muslim hospitality. And this is the ethos that we aim to replicate as Muslim Debate Initiative. So, all right, on with the actual show. So, some fire safety issues. If there's a fire alarm, apparently there are fire exits located outside there to the left, so just proceed in a calm, orderly manner, as long as you're not on fire. That'd be as for the format of the debate will be featuring opening statements starting with Zakir, which will be 20 minutes for each speaker. It will then be rebuttals for each speaker, 10 minutes, then second rebuttals for each speaker, 10 minutes, and then it will be an audience Q&A that will last for 30 minutes, and then it will be in opposite order, starting with Michael, final statements. I would like to please remind you to switch off the loud ringtones you might have on your phone. Please switch it to silent or to vibrate if possible, as long as the vibration is not so loud. People might put on their tape and it vibrates even now. So no, just please be mindful of that. Okay. Right, introducing the speakers that we have today. First and foremost, I'd like to thank both speakers for attending this event, taking their time out to come and grace us and engage in healthy intellectual discussions. The first person, in speaking order of course, is my colleague and good friend Zakir Hussain, She's been a member of the Muslim Debate Initiative since, I think, 2012, and has done many public events, public debates, lectures, and has participated in a lot of research in Muslim Christian apologetics for now over a decade. And the second interlocutor today is we're honored to have Dr. Michael Brown. Dr. Michael Brown is a Jewish believer in Jesus and is the founder and president of Ask Dr. Brown Ministries. He has taught at and led several ministry schools and served as a visiting or adjunct professor at 7 leading seminaries. He holds a PhD in Near Eastern languages and literatures from New York University and has contributed scholarly articles to a number of major publications, including the Oxford Dictionary of Jewish Religion, the Theological Dictionary of the Old Testament, the New International Dictionary of Old Testament Theology and Exegesis, say that 5 times fast, the Moody Handbook on Messianic Prophecy, as well as Biblical and Semitics journals. He is the best-selling author of more than 40 books, including commentaries on Jeremiah and Job, and the highly acclaimed 5-volume series, Answering Jewish Objections to Jesus. Dr. Brown hosts the daily syndicated talk radio show, The Line of Fire, and he's a national and international speaker on themes of spiritual revival and cultural reformation, having also written more than 2,500 op-ed pieces. He has debated Jewish rabbis, agnostic scholars, gay activists, and others on radio, TV, and college campuses. It sounds like the beginning of a joke. These guys walk into a bar. You know? Anyway, and he's widely considered to be the world's foremost Messianic Jewish apologist. So, with that, I'd like you please to welcome both speakers. You're going to conclude last, yeah. You okay with that?
What's that?
You concluding last?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
That's as you said it. That's as you said it. Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So, speaker, just put this there. Okay. Are you okay to stand up? Or you want to sit down? I'll sit. You want to sit down?
Yeah. 10 minutes, 15, and
sure. Okay. Okay then. So going first for the proposition is the Prophet Muhammad in the Bible, and I would like to remind the audience that this is not just an arbitrary topic, but because the Muslims believe in the Quran, that it does say that the people of the book, Jews and Christians, can find the Prophet Muhammad mentioned there in their scriptures. This is why this topic is deemed to be a relevant point for debate. So, starting with the proposition for this, that the Prophet Muhammad is in the Bible, I will present to you Zakir, who will begin his 20 minutes whenever you're ready.
Firstly, I would like to say, all praise be to Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth. May Allah bless those of us who follow His covenant, and may He guide those who are yet to taste the light of His guidance. The topic of today's discussion is Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, foretold in the Bible? The answer to this question from the Muslim perspective is an obvious yes. Before I delve into the arguments in regards to the Prophet Muhammad being foretold in the Bible, I would first like to mention a few examples of the New Testament's attempts to prove that Jesus Christ was foretold in the Tanakh, or what the Christians call the Old Testament. The reason I would like to give a few examples from the New Testament is to show the standards Christians have with regards to so-called fulfillment of prophecies, especially since Dr. Brown often boasts and takes pride in these so-called prophecies. While a Muslim would have no issue with Jesus being foretold in the Tanakh, as we believe in his prophethood, nevertheless, we do not close our eyes when it comes to blatant manufacturing of so-called messianic prophecies. Let me give a couple examples. Number one, Matthew, for example, made up a story about Herod massacring the kids in Bethlehem when Jesus was born. Not only have historians such as Josephus, who wrote in great deal about the atrocities committed by Herod, not mentioned this, but what makes this even worse is that Luke contradicts this when he says that Jesus was born at the time of the census in the year 6 CE, 10 years after Herod had died. Moreover, Matthew also claims that due to Herod, Jesus had to flee to Egypt to fulfill Hosea 11. But when one reads Hosea 11, it is clear this is speaking about the children of Israel at the time of the